Hello and welcome to the Season 6 Elite Tournament pre-show. So Adventures in Magic Kingdom is the game, and we're going to be showing the two races that Puke 7 had to make up due to his inability to compete while the lawsuit with Capcom and Disney was going on. We're going to have coverage of that lawsuit and a sit-down interview with Puke 7 next week, but for right now, let's recap where we're at right now with Puke 7's Group Mater. And here was where we left off in Group Mater. You can see Dark Magician is in first place based on percentage points. Jam Eviler is in a comfortable 3-1 at second place right now. He has made it to the bracket round. There is only one scenario where there'll be a three-way tie for first place, with everyone being 3-1. And we don't think Jam Eviler can possibly be the worst average based on Puke 7's first race. So we're going to give Jam the little asterisk next to his name. He'll be moving on to the bracket round. Zarnax 42 is at 1-1. Puke 7 0-1, and Justin Man 114 0-3. We're going to start tonight off with two of the Puke 7 makeup races. First against Zarnax 42, and then against Dark Magician, and then we'll reset this table and tell you what exactly needs to happen for people to make it to the bracket round before the big group race.
All right, welcome everyone. We are here with a little bit of a pre-show to Week 5 of the Elite Tournament, and it's going to be a makeup race between Puke 7 and Zarnax 42 from Week 2. At the time, Puke 7 was 0-1 and Zarnax was 1-0. And I'm here with Angry Larry, and we're going to get this thing started right off the bat. How's it going, Larry?
It's going well. Zarnax was 1-1. I believe he lost to Jam Evil, but he beat somebody who forfeited during the race. I think that was you.
Yeah, that would have been me.
That wasn't actually a shade on you. That was actually me just trying to remember. And Puke 7 lost to Jam Evil as well. So that's where these people are at. And they're going to be in Space Mountain. So, we can talk about anything we want now for the next 2 minutes and 5 seconds.
Yeah, pretty much anything to keep people from having to watch this. So, how's it going? How's your day going?
It's going pretty well. It's a birthday week here in the Angry Larry family, so
oh, nice.
Plenty of family in and out.
Is it your birthday?
My birthday was yesterday by the time everybody is watching this. Yeah, so
nice.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, sir.
Thank you. And so good time. And I had cake and chicken and rice, like out of order. And it was pretty good. Watched the Yankees for a little bit, watched wrestling, and yeah. How about you?
Yeah, not really much going on here. Just playing some video games all day, pretty much. Last couple of days of my vacation, so just killing it off.
I have a scenario here for you. Why don't you give me your answer?
All right.
Say you came to, I don't know, twitch.tv/Angry Larry, and you were expecting like an Adventures in Magic Kingdom race, like an Elite Tournament night of races. Which race prior to the Elite Tournament would it be acceptable to delay the Elite Tournament? Would it be Link to the Past randomizer? Would it be Zelda 1 randomizer, Final Fantasy 4 randomizer, or Link to the Past plus Super Metroid randomizer?
Oh, this is a tough question. But, well, I can't really judge on Final Fantasy randomizer because I don't really know anything about it. So we're just going to throw that one out. The Metroid Link to the Past, it's cool, but it's like really long and drawn out. So we're going to throw that one out too. And I don't know. I guess we'll go with Zelda 1. That's the original for me. That's the first randomizer that I remember watching. So yeah, I guess we'll go with that one.
So I'm thinking for the next season of the Elite Tournament, Season 7, which, by the way, is going to be in late October, early November. Mid-October, early November.
Nice.
Maybe a 2-week break for Thanksgiving, depending on how schedule comes out. If we can get it before Thanksgiving or whatever. We're done with Space Mountain here, so we're going to move on to Autopia, which has been pretty interesting lately. Looks like Zarnax is going to divert from Autopia. Actually, Puke 7 is doing Space Mountain again. I didn't notice if he died there at the end of it, but whatever.
I thought I saw the text saying he got the key, but maybe I misread. So
I don't think
maybe he went in by accident. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think Space Mountain's one of the ones you can go in by accident. Like, the other ones have like a 2-tile width opening, and if you go left or right, you go back in. I think Space Mountain was just that one tile. I might have to go to the review here, get Johnny's stats
Yeah,
on
I'm
it.
not sure. I'm really. I know I've gone back into it, but I don't know if it was after I beat it or not. So I think I have, but I'm not positive. In
We're
any
going.
case,
Yeah, any case, for season 7, I'm thinking about scheduling like a whole bunch of stuff at one time, and then just making everybody else wait while we play like one thing at a time. Thinking,
sounds fun.
yeah, I'm thinking that's the way to go. Like, whatever. Like, let's have absolutely no respect for people's time going forward. That's how it's going to play out. Zarnax is going to do Pirates of the Caribbean after answering a handful of questions before Autopia. So
Interesting. Yeah. Not. I don't know if he's gonna have any stars to use here because he's not doing Autopia first. So
that is the major downside. He does attempt the ladder jump there, has to wait for Puke 7 to move away from the ladder. By the way, Puke 7 special coming up next week. We'll have a sit-down interview with Puke 7 himself and discuss all the things that went on earlier in the season.
oh wow, yeah, I'm excited for that.
But yeah, like you said, no stars. But I think Zarnax here wants a little revenge on Magoo.
Yeah, I mean the stars on this level aren't maybe quite as important as I would say they are on the other side scroll or platforming level, if you will, as Zarnax falls into the lava.
Well, if he grabbed 5 stars and then jumped into the lava intentionally and grabs 5 more stars, then he can invincibility at that point. But I don't know if he grabbed 5 before that happened.
Yeah, I don't really know if that's quite a time save either, but I see your point.
Like, he could be screen sniping, and you can see his opponent back on Space Mountain. I wonder if he checked the schedule. Yeah, I wonder if he checked the schedule to see if he was playing Alan Heffley.
All right, Puke did get the key that time for sure, so he must not have gotten it the first time. If that hadn't become obvious yet. And he is going the correct, well, the preferred route here. Autopia next.
It's your classic case here between world record route versus Blue Ring 2 first route. We're going to see everyone converge there on the final castle at some point.
Yeah, the difference is the world record route's actually probably easier because of the star collection, so it's kind of the worst of both worlds for Zarnax here. Takes a reverse damage boost and then a forwards damage boost. He's got to be a little careful here.
I didn't see it because I was looking at Puke 7. I for some reason, like, I wasn't following the red car. I was following the blue car, and I was wondering why, like, the game over screen wasn't coming up.
I do that sometimes. It's easy to get them mixed up for some reason.
I didn't notice if that, like, the Magoo was not there when he climbed the ladder, like, when I finally moved my eyes over to the other side of the screen. But, like, he wasn't despawned, right? He killed him?
I didn't see.
Gonna have,
I didn't see that, actually.
Johnny Stats is going to have a lot of stuff to do here in a couple minutes.
It's all right. That's why he's employed, right?
Yeah. Other than making up bogus stats and not updating the website, he's not good for anything else, so might as well put him to work. Hat stand. We're going to try to make that one a thing. What do you think the question's going to be when he goes to the one by the front gate?
I guess I'll get. How about how many ghosts are there in the ghost house?
Now I'll go with Gooseberry Pie because I feel like Gooseberry Pie shows up in every single race.
I've gotten the Fauntleroy question in my last 2 races, I believe. Or maybe it was not 2 in a row, but I think I've gotten it at least twice. So in races.
Midnight in Cinderella's Castle. It's like probably the most educational game we've played. Certainly top 2. The other one being when we did the anatomy of Luigi's legs in Super Mario Brothers 2 in the Olympics.
When are we going to do Mario is Missing? That's another Luigi-centric game that is very highly educational.
I would punch my face repeatedly if we did Luigi's Mansion and I had to listen to Luigi say Mario 6,000 times in a minute.
Oh boy.
See if we get a boat despawn here. Nope, he YOLOs right into it.
Ooh, I liked that move.
I don't know if you can fall in the gap between the boat and the ledge, and I only say that because if it could have been done, BGT would have done it already.
Yeah, I mean, you can fall through that sliver in Autopia, so I would guess that you can, but it is different, of course, since you're not in a car here.
In Capcom logic, the car is narrower or smaller than a human body.
Hmm. Well, it's two-dimensional, so when you turn it up on its side, it's just like a piece of paper, right?
Yeah. You ever see Chun Li's thighs in Street Fighter V or her hands?
Nah, I haven't played Street Fighter since probably Super Nintendo days.
The person who draws or designs the characters has no idea of scaling. Puke trying to do that final jump. I don't think you can do that final jump. I think you hit your head every time. I think you got to do the 2 jumps before the final jump.
Hmm.
Not sure. I'm a guy who plays it safe. Slow and steady gets you in the relegation race.
And this is going to be, let's see, so Zarnax still has to do Autopia. And he's about halfway through Thunder Mountain here, so I do believe he has the lead, but I don't know by how much, and I'm not sure where he's at on the questions.
Well, we know he did up into. He probably did the one right next to here, Tom Sawyer's area, or whatever that's called. And he just got the wrong gate, so he's going to have to do this one again. It's gate number 3 he needs to go to. I would feel like he only has the final question person left, and that's by Autopia anyway.
Yeah. Well, we might have a close race here after this one, after that, after going to the wrong station. We'll see.
Yeah, you have to keep in mind that Puke 7 also has to do Thunder Mountain, and he did put up like a 24-minute time the last time he raced, majority of it in Thunder Mountain.
Yeah, Thunder Mountain can be tricky. I've pretty much gotten to the point where I'm just gonna stay on the right almost every time, and then yeah, just move over at the end. There's too much stuff that can happen that can go wrong on the left side. It looks like that's what Zarnax is doing here too. I actually didn't see where he's supposed to be going, but it looks like
He's got to go to 3, and he went to 2 again.
he went to 2 again, yeah.
3 is the worst one. 3 is the one where there's only like a few paths to 3, where everything else seems like it just has, more paths you can take, starting at like the beginning of the board. But 3 is very specific. You have to get like right to a certain set of track, and then like work your way left and right and down in like that little section.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like 2 or 3 really.
3 is easy. If you can get to the right-hand side and you go through those chicanes where the tracks go over the canyon, and you go past the 5th chicane, then you can just hold left. You go left, and then you hold left through the next fork, and then it's right down, and then you're at 3. But you can't go from left to right too quick, or you'll like go back on the track even though you passed that section already. Like you'll just,
Yeah.
you ever do that? That's the best.
Yeah.
First station for Puke 7.
All right, so let's see if he works his way down the left side or does do the safer right side. Looks like he's going right to start. Zarnax did take care of his, but he's still got to go do Autopia.
So it's really Gooseberry Pies. So it's really Zarnax's last question and Autopia versus Puke 7 and making it through here and doing the last set of questions as well. Advantage Puke 7 right now, but you never know. Again, he spent 23 minutes. 22 of them were in this track.
Yeah, he is almost done too here, assuming he goes to the right station. He does have 1 health left. Be a little careful. Looks like he is going to the wrong station.
No,
oh,
that
wait,
was
never
the
mind.
right
I'm
one.
sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. For some reason, I thought he was going to 2.
Yeah, I just had to hold left. Here's the last set of questions here. 2 more questions. You had to think that there was a spoiler in the fact that Puke 7 wasn't going to spend Des Fauntleroy. Puke 7 wasn't
Ah,
going to spend 22 minutes there because the editor of this wonderful series competition did not put up a hamster wheel.
mm. Yeah, we had that beautiful hamster wheel to watch last week. And there's the winner, 1328 for Puke.
And certainly have this time from his race number 1. He's going to be moving on to 1-1. This is going to put Zarnax down to 1-2. And what that means is Puke 7's next 2 races, his makeup race against Dark Magician, which is coming up next, and his scheduled race against you later on in the evening, will be for the playoffs here. They will be if he can win them both, he can sneak into the bracket round, or at least force a tie, and then a tiebreaker of average time, and head to head and average time would come into play. But it looks like Zarnax has finished. Didn't really realize what he did, and then walked into the castle and finished with 14-11.
Yeah, I think he didn't realize if he had finished all the questions or not, and then he did realize and went over to the door. But he does get his Melvin hat.
Yeah, some players are collecting a few of those, and Zarnax has a couple.
Yeah. Got a closet full of them.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Zarnax because some of his races were one versus one on the screen instead of a 4-player, 2 1v1s. So he had the unfortunate side effect of collecting extra Melvin hats as a result.
Yeah, a little easier to get the hat when you only, it's a 50-50 really.
I think when you earn them, when there's 4 people on the screen at one time, like you really earn them. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
It's like winning a championship on a non-lockout strike year, non-scab year. Like you played every regular season game, Kind of has that feel for me. But I think we're done. You can go ahead and take this one away.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a pretty good race, and we're gonna, I guess, send it right back up to Hans for more of the festivities. Take it away.
So with Puke 7 beating Zarnax, this makes his race against Dark Magician the makeup race for week number 3. Very important. If Puke 7 can win and then wins his final race tonight, while Dark Magician loses that race, Puke 7 will move on to the bracket round. If both Puke 7 and Dark Magician win that last race after Puke 7 beats Dark Magician, then there'll be the 3-way tie, and Puke 7 will most likely be eliminated due to the highest average time. We'll see. He's cut it down a little bit. I don't think he can get under that 12-minute mark, though. I'm going to trust Johnny's stats on this. But if Dark Magician does beat Puke 7 right now, then Dark Magician and Jam Eviler are going to move on, and the seeding between Dark Magician and Jam Eviler will be decided on the last race. If Dark Magician wins, he'll go to 4-0 and be number 1 seed. If Dark Magician loses, then he has to have a worse time. I'm sorry, he beat Jam Eviler, so Dark Magician would win out in the tiebreaker as well. So if Dark Magician beats Puke 7, he's number 1 seed. If Puke 7 beats Dark Magician, then there's an outside chance that Puke 7 can get in. And we'll stop talking, and we'll go to the action and let you guys see for yourself.
Hello everyone and welcome to this group mater race. Puke 7 versus Dark Magician 1184. Got BGT here with me and we should get started here pretty quick.
Yeah,
Who
so
do you have in this one, BGT?
Honestly, I haven't seen Puke play at all because of the lawsuit, which I guess finally got resolved, but he said he's still not allowed to talk about it, so I'm not really sure what's going on with it. But I think I'll vote for him because Dark Magician has this weird overlay on his stream. We don't like stream overlays in the world of esports.
Don't like the watermark thing. It can be a little weird.
But yeah, I guess
like sometimes where I'm most confused is which things the watermark covers and which things it doesn't. Because sometimes that seems random.
Yeah, it's kind of erratic. I don't. It looks like it's like chroma keyed on black or something. Chroma keys are fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think Puke 7 needs this win to keep his playoff hopes alive. So I guess that's another reason to root for him. Dark Magician's playoff thing is a little more complicated. I don't think we want to get into it. We'll leave that to Hans in the studio.
Yeah, going through everyone's favorite snooze stage here. I think I'd vote Space Mountain least interesting to watch.
Oh, absolutely. It's also the least interesting to play. Like, it makes practicing like real runs of this game really arduous for me. Like, any reset just means 2 minutes of boredom again.
Yeah, I think that would discourage attempts. Yeah, I almost think you could because really one of the keys to the run is the Autopia, and actually I feel like you could probably do Autopia first and only lose maybe a couple seconds.
Yeah, I know you were doing the task and you were looking at the overworld routing, and I looked at it myself because I felt like it wasn't really optimal, but we both came to the same conclusion that the route everyone's been doing for the most part here is optimal, but there were a couple options that weren't really that much worse.
Yeah, definitely. So this route that everybody's going to attempt to take if they're not overstepping is 256 steps in the overworld. And there were a couple that were like 4, 6, 8 steps more. So I mean, you look at that, you're losing each extra step. You're losing 16 frames. So you're looking at losing a second or two.
Yeah, that's really not that bad.
But if the alternative is not having to do Space Mountain first every time, then I don't know. Maybe if you're going for a decent run and not world record, then worth thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of little time saves too, like where 1 second could really not matter that much. The RNG of the questions that you get, and like the pirate movement that you'll see in pirates. All those kinds of things can add up to more than a second anyway. That's kind of out of your control.
Even here in Autopia, some of the stuff that is actually in your control a little bit is the game really. It's hard to really notice when you're playing just RTA, but the game starts to lag pretty good when you have more than one enemy on the screen. So you can try to keep it down to 1. That could actually save you easily a couple seconds, and it's if you're just like watching a run or something, you wouldn't necessarily notice that as like a time-saving thing.
Yeah, that's something I actually learned from your task notes. I read them over, trying to improve my own time in this game. And it looks like Autopia is one of the places I can stand to improve a bit. Both these players having pretty similar Autopia runs. Now that we've talked over the whole thing.
Frame for frame here.
Looks like Puke opting for a little bit longer name there.
Could come down to questions at this rate. Well, I didn't actually pay attention to the names. Was there anything interesting, or this was Bamboo 7?
Oh, is Dark Magician Bamboo 7? I haven't, I keep looking away when his name shows up.
I didn't look at the names in the first place.
Ooh, Dark Magician missing a question.
Yeah, that was a short question too.
Yeah, that's another one, like, yeah, another, like, that's a question that also the answer is A, and those are the best ones because you don't have to think about it. Like, once you recognize it's a, you can just mash.
That's where I ran into trouble on some of these. Is I would be like, okay, the answer's C, and then I would just mash, and then I would pick A accidentally.
Yeah, for a long time I didn't realize you could just you can hold A or B to have the text go at the maximum rate. You don't have to mash necessarily. And then like holding doesn't trigger the answering of the question. Looks like Dark Magician is in the alternative nighttime Pirates of the Caribbean ride. I don't know what's going on with his colors there. Ooh. Dark Magician accidentally taking a 1-up instead of the invulnerability, but Puke 7 falling into lava costing even more time than a botched menu.
Yeah, that'll put Dark Magician pretty solidly in the lead here.
Yeah, and he'll have to slow down a little bit here without the invulnerability stars, but I don't think that's anything compared to the death.
Yeah,
That's another frustration with this game is
that actually uses the freeze there.
yeah, like how far back a death can set you. It looks like DM's gonna try and collect some more stars to make up for that.
Seems
I
like
don't know if he got enough though.
Seems like any death in this game costs you like 2 minutes. Except for maybe the ghost.
Yeah, I mean, you know, none of the mini games have any checkpointing. So basically, however long you've been in that mini game, a death costs you that long. Where is the ghost on DM's screen? Did he let it scroll off screen? I missed
hung
it.
out at the beginning of the stage and said, "I'm not taking that, one shot by the ghost. I'm gonna let him go off screen before I even move."
I don't think I've seen that strat before. That's interesting.
Super safe strat.
Yeah, I guess with the loss of stars, it makes sense though. Without being able to take the invulnerability, you want to wait for him to get out of your way. So Puke about a third of a level behind at this point.
Yeah, he'll need a fall off of a chair here, or maybe the wrong station at Thunder Mountain.
Or just a bad boss spawn. Yet another out of your control annoyance in this game.
You have a little bit of control because as long as you keep the screen scrolling, there's a fairly significant chance for that boss to spawn every second.
Yeah, I guess I feel like I've still had times where it takes like 10 or more seconds for him to show up, and it's just like, what are you going to do there?
Time, it's hard to tell because I've noticed in some of the races and stuff I've watched that somebody will go and it'll spawn like in the bottom left corner after 1 second, and you're scrolling that way and you scroll them off the screen.
Dark Magician with some interesting strats to spawn the ghosts there.
Wiggle strat there. I find it to be pretty hilarious. It is. I mean, it's probably okay as long as he's not letting go. As long as there are no blank frames in between his left and right, it should be the same. But any blank frames are just a waste of frames, I guess.
It certainly looked like it worked out. That was a pretty quick spawn there. Ooh,
yeah, he probably got a 2-second spawn. So it's fine.
Puke falls victim to the one of the tougher books in the book screen there. So this will be pretty challenging to overcome. I didn't see which station Dark Magician had. I guess we'll see when he gets to the end. Oh, never mind.
Like it's first station, so he'll still keep his lead with the do-over here.
Yeah, it'd take a couple more failures.
I found the edge of the chair strat to be by far the easiest.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking though if you're not accustomed to that strat, because you can step pretty far off that chair. Like it looks like you're not even standing on it anymore. And to really get the nice book spawns or the book timing, you have to have like 1 full foot off the chair.
Yeah, you have to be pretty far out there. I did actually I think in practice or something, I went too far. There was a point where I was still on the chair, and then when the chair changed directions, I got like bucked off. So there's, too much of a good thing, I guess. But
Oh, that's rough. So yeah, Dark Magician has us all but in the bag, barring some really unfortunate trivia.
questions. Lightning strike, something. Sinkhole.
A single 1 in a million chance.
That's our winner, Dark Magician at 1120.
And Puke with the double books in the wrong order there. So yeah, Puke through the hard parts of the game, just needs to fight this boss and do Thunder Mountain. But I think the loss here takes him out of the playoff contention. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the case.
Yeah, and that'll put Dark Magician into the winners bracket. Seal his fate as well. In a positive way, I guess.
Well, I guess if you don't like suspense, then you got the good outcome in this race. Puke getting third station, that one's the worst one for sure.
See, this is, I think, my biggest issue with this game is I can't even be bothered to read which station to go to when I'm commentating. And if I'm running, then definitely I can't remember to see which station to go to.
Yeah, I had in a practice the other day, I definitely asked chat to confirm which station I was supposed to be going to because I forgot halfway down.
Yeah, you probably, if you notice right away, you probably have time for chat help.
Puke 7 manages it.
Yeah, he makes it though. He's good.
It's especially funny in like a race situation if you don't read or forget, like you just kind of, I don't know, maybe it's better to just crash or take one of those dead ends that shoots you off the track.
I've done that. Like, let's just dead end it and then look next time.
Although we're getting to the end of the season here, maybe it's better to just go for it and have that 1 out of 4. Puke 7's 3 seconds short of a cool time.
Yeah. Finishes up in 13:34. He'll get the Melvin hat for this race. Just a little issue with some deaths there, but overall it was a good race. So that'll wrap it up for this Mater Group race.
Yeah, we'll kick it back to Hans in the studio. Thanks for commentating. We'll see you soon.
Later, BGT.
And if I knew what was going to happen in advance, I could have saved about 15 minutes of explanation. With Dark Magician beating Puke 7, Dark Magician's going to move on to the bracket round. He's going to be the number 1 seed. Jam Eviler is going to be the number 2 seed. Doesn't matter what Dark Magician's last race against Zarnax goes like. They will be 1 and 2. Dark Magician will play the second place in the standings person in Group Elsa. Jam Eviler will play the person in first place. But that wraps things up for the pre-show. The main show will be coming up in a little bit. And we'll decide all the playoff positions and the relegation race positions. And award some Melvin hats in just a little while. In the speedrunning community, emulator usage is considered especially heinous. On Twitch.tv, the dedicated Melvins who play these games are members of an exclusive squad known as the Elite Tournament. These are their races. Hello and welcome to the final week of group play action in the Elite Tournament Season 6, featuring the adventures in the Magic Kingdom. I am Hans Budface. Tonight we're going to be deciding who makes it into the playoffs, who unfortunately might get bumped down to the relegation race, and who will never have to play this game again. We'll start right now with a quick recap here. And as you saw in the pregame show, Puke 7 beat Zarnax 42, but lost to Dark Magician 1184. And he's sitting at 1-2 right now. Both Dark Magician and Jam are going to move on to the group stage. Dark Magician has the tiebreaker over Jam, so it's going to be number 1 seed Dark Magician 1184, number 2 seed Jam Eviler. But for the concluding races, which are mostly just for fun, let's go to group mater action right now.
Hello everybody, this is Armageddon time here with Link_7777 for a Group D Mater race in the Elite Tournament, Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. And unfortunately, a lot of these matches, I'm not really sure how they're really going to roll out, but, you know, much like speaking to my ex, it's like I'm talking to a brick wall when it comes terms to whoever ends up watching this race.
Well, we're already into some questions here, so looks like everybody's getting through. I saw some interesting file names. I saw Knob up there in Justin Man's screen.
Not really sure what that's a reference to. I mean, who goes around just saying knob?
Right? Into Space Mountain here. We'll see how... see if anybody gets drugged behind here, takes any bobs. But this is the hitting directions in space portion of our program.
Yeah, indeed. It's the pre-DDR, and it looks like nobody's actually taking a divergent path this time, so everything seems on point so far. Everybody's shooting their lasers and pointing their directions. It's your typical Space Mountain.
Seems about right.
Man, that dastardly E-star. It seems like it goes on forever and ever, and just when you're about to give up, it's over.
Wonder how the weather is in space. It's been pretty hot here.
Is that even a concept in space? Can you have weather? Well, I guess they have, like, I don't know, like on those Star Trek shows, they have a Badlands, which makes no sense to me. How can you have a Badlands in space?
Yeah, well, I guess the general idea of space is that it lacks stuff. So I'm with you, I guess.
There's also a lot of mentions of eddies. It's just full of eddies, especially on that Star Trek Voyager show, which I used to watch a lot of.
That was a good one.
Seems like the only anomaly here is the 4 crazies we got racing this thing. Am I right?
Right. It's like Puke may be a shot or two behind just from, I think, the second question. But yeah, otherwise we'll probably see them all kind of exit here at the same time.
I didn't get a chance to even see any of the questions because as I was trying to look at one, I'm trying to look at another, and they just go by in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, reading 4 screens at once may not necessarily work.
We got some people exiting already.
Alright, now we're getting a little more interest. some auto racing going on. We do have a divergence here. The Zarnax is gonna take on some questions.
Maybe going for the question key already. Who knows? And oh no, looks like Justman took a dip.
At least he wasn't too far in, I guess, but
Or maybe it's a strategy. Maybe he's trying to collect even more stars. Who knows what's up his sleeve? This is off the rails already, especially since he went into the drink. Now, when you're at this bridge part, do you take the left bridge or the right bridge?
I think the right bridge is a little better just because you have a couple extra stars there, but just in my runs I feel like I've taken the left bridge mostly.
Honestly, for me, it's a real Sophie's choice. Like, what do I do? It's kind of a heat in the moment thing. It's whichever I'm the closest to. I'm just like, all right, I guess we're doing this.
Yeah, I've kind of gotten bumped off path before.
Oh yeah.
I had Dark Magician on questions. Puke 7 finishing up Autopia.
Zarnax already on Pirates.
Yeah, Zarnax, it kind of looks like he's in the lead here, but he actually skipped Autopia, so he'll be
And
backtracking for that.
You can tell because he's not taking the strategy of invincibility because he didn't go to Autopia. Doesn't have those stars.
Doesn't have those extra stars. And then he's gonna be losing 16 frames for every extra tile he has to walk.
16 extra frames. Might as well be the other side of the planet.
It adds up though. You know, if you have to walk 4 extra tiles, that's 4 times 16. You're looking at an extra second there.
I try not to measure my runs in seconds, more like belief systems.
Is that a metric second?
It's a Canadian second.
Canadian second. Okay. It all makes sense.
Don't even get me started on maple seconds.
Haha. But you could get a really good time in this game in maple seconds, I bet.
Yeah, I guess I'd be painting a really good maple story.
I think you've gone off the rails now. We're not quite to Thunder Mountain yet.
Yeah, not quite. Everybody's still claiming the dames and watching out for them old bones. Careful not to get taken to the bone zone.
We do have Zarnax on the haunted house here. He's sort of a stage ahead and a stage missed, I guess.
A stage absent, perhaps.
There you go.
Now he's coming up to the evil chairs and chandeliers. And seems everybody else is still having quite a time claiming the dames in Pirates of the Caribbean. Or is it Caribbean? Which way do you swing?
I guess I haven't been there, but I would tend to go Caribbean.
Do you ever have one of those carabiners? Isn't that like something you keep a drink in?
No.
And what is it?
It's something you clip to a rope when you're climbing.
Oh, then what the heck am I thinking of?
Canteen?
That's it. Canteen. What am I thinking here? We got the ghost in the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, it looks like he had a bottom left spawn and then scrolled it off screen, but...
There's our first car wash.
Okay, there.
Man, this race just got a whole lot spoopier. Did you see that? Like when he passes the mirror, instead of you, it's a mirror of a ghost? How did they put that in the game?
Creepy, man.
Like, this is from 1990. The technology is unbelievable. Speaking of going off the rails, bottom right-hand corner, we got some Train in Vain.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to try that again.
Oh, it's a shame. We got more evil chairs and chandeliers with Puke 7.
Dark Magician was doing a wonky back and forth strat there, but it looks like it worked out.
Got a second car
Make
wash.
sure the screen is scrolling there.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you. I'm just, every time we get a car wash, it just got to be pointed out. I've missed too many.
I'll leave the car washes to you. Dark Magician's gonna join Zarnax on the Thunder Mountain, but Zarnax has still gotta backtrack for Autopia.
Puke 7's on the Ghoul. Car wash. More questions. Puke 7 and Zarnax 42 answering questions. I hope correctly.
Alright, here's our backtrack for Autopia. I see Zarnax picked an X for his file name. I find that to be appropriate.
Maybe he's just signing his name with an X.
Yeah, you don't want to pick more than one character. Printing extra characters is going to cost you in game time every time someone says your name.
So that's what I've been doing wrong.
You've been going with the Bamboo 7 strat?
Been going with the Arma strat, sometimes Aram.
Nah, Arrow. We have a winner down here with Dark Magician.
Well, GG to Dark Magician.
Putting up a totally decent time.
10:35, completely respectable. 10:36, ungodly. These crazy bookshelves. How I detest them so.
Yeah, I still like the edge of the chair strat because the spawns are a lot easier to handle. Or you end up triggering them a little differently, and none of them are right in your face.
Even just that little extra inch is all you need. Am I right, ladies?
Yeah, that makes all the difference.
Car wash and victory.
Puke 7 takes this one against Justin Mann.
And Zarnax finishes up down in the bottom right. Justin Mann just trying to get his way to the station. I know what that's like when I'm in Toronto and I'm trying to get to Union Station. It's like a bloody maze down there.
Yeah, I've not been to Toronto, so I'll have to trust you on that one.
Yeah, because I'm kind of alienating my audience there. I apologize.
I have been to Canada, just not in Toronto.
It's no big thing. It's certainly no. It's certainly no Big Thunder Mountain. Did you manage to see which station Justin Mann has to get to?
I did not. Just like in my, actual runs of this game, I forget to look.
Well, that's not right. I hope it's Station 1.
Yep. There it goes. Couple more questions here.
And then we are good. How many ghosts? 999. That's 666 upside down, you know.
Suppose it is. All right, Justin Man pulls up with the Melvin hat. 1305.
I mean, we've seen worse times, and 1305. In the heat of the moment, you got to respect him for finishing it out. I always like seeing no DNFs
Yeah.
or
so
backwards GNFs.
Looks like that wraps it up for our group mater race this week.
Yeah, so I guess that's all the marbles here for Armageddon time. Link_7777. You got anything else?
I think that's all. Have a good night, Arma.
You have a good night too, Link7777. And that's all the marbles. I said it twice.
So here are the final group mater standings. You can see that Zarnax42, Puke7, and JustAman114 all had personal bests in the last race. Dark Magician winning, going to a perfect 4-0 in his rookie season. JustAman going a perfect 0-4 in his rookie season. In fact, Puke7 is the only non-rookie of this group. So thanks to everybody for racing and joining the tournament. We'll be seeing Dark Magician and Jam Eviler in the bracket round. But right now, let's go to Group Donald action. First, we'll reset their standings. None of the races matter tonight. There's only Pride on the line. Coach Crab 127 is the number 1 seed. Buzz Thunder is the number 2 seed. If they do tie at 3-1, then Coach Crab will win the tiebreaker head-to-head record against Buzz Thunder. If Buzz Thunder falls to 2-2, and or Angry Larry moves up to 2-2, well, Buzz Thunder has beaten Neeram and Angry Larry and wins both of those head-to-head tiebreakers 2-0. Armageddon time is looking to collect another Melvin hat. We'll see if that can happen right now.
All right, let's get. Thanks, Hans, and let's get to this Daffy Duck race group. I'm joined here with Edge Stream or Edgeworth. Take your pick. I'm DM. How's it going, Edge?
It's going all right. Looking forward to a pretty close competition here. See if Angry Larry can shake off that bad beat.
Yeah, but as it stands, I don't think either of these results really matter for their group. Larry can win, Armageddon can win. It doesn't matter. Coach Crab and Buzz are moving on.
It's all about bragging rights, so.
Yeah, I wonder how much F Thunder was dropping those bombs against Armageddon in this one.
Well, we're about to find out in the Space Mountain.
Speaking of F, yeah, we're going to star F and F this level.
Yeah, God, this is terrible.
All you have to remember is B for Battleship.
And then A for Asteroid?
Indeed.
That's like poetry, it rhymes.
So the first time I played this, I really thought that's what they wanted you to figure out.
And the first time I played this, I had no idea that there was a set pattern, so that note that D-Pad Danny posted is proven invaluable.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that more players didn't go into this more blind and do the pause strats throughout. Would have been good humor, good entertainment. But so far, it looks like all of these players are clean through Space Mountain, Death Mountain, and I know a death here really is a Death Mountain kind of curse. You got to start all over, and it's 2.5 minutes of this.
Death on any of the levels is bad, but this is definitely the most punishing. Not only does it take the longest, but you just don't want to do this again.
I don't think anybody wanted to do this level in the first place. All right, we just got another 10, 15 seconds of this stuff. So, where are we going after this?
Go to the racetrack. I guess we can play some bets.
I'm going to go with the green car.
All right, I think Blue's got it this time.
Yeah, I love the ending that it doesn't even matter if you win or lose. You win if you just get to the ending in time.
It just makes me wonder, like, which car was actually Pete. You ran him off of the road like 20 seconds ago. The race doesn't matter anymore.
So here we are in our wacky race. Were you a part of the elite during that tournament?
No, this is my first time.
Got a lot of first timers, it seems. So I was saying earlier that this whole race doesn't matter between these four competitors. Angry Larry and Armageddon Time have locked in the bottom two and will be relegated. They'll go to the relegation bracket at least. I believe Coach Crab is number 1 on this group's leaderboard, and Buzz Thunder is number 2.
Yeah, wow, that was a nice performance by Larry. Almost getting out of the level before the hidden timer started beeping. So pretty solid all around, though.
Yeah, that level is so full of lag. That's the whole key to going fast. All right, we got Sleepy Happy Doc. We got Cinderella Midnight.
Julie Andrews. So we're hitting all of the. This is the right demographic for the this kind of trivia, though.
Somebody slipped in 3 Little Pigs.
It's alright, Disney owns everything at this point.
Except for Popeye.
Alright, now we've got Pirates of the Retirement Home here.
Yeah, everybody looking for Jack Sparrow or Orlando Bloom. Was he in any of the movies besides the very first one?
I think the first one is the only one that I've seen, so I couldn't tell you.
Because I know they rode that Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp money train, but I think they dropped Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley.
Uh-oh. Angry Larry taking one last look at the Mercado on fire before continuing on.
Couldn't believe his eyes.
He's got a lot of fond memories of that Mercado. That's where he picked up a used roller games cart for $5.
Rockers only?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Have to ask him.
So yeah, Larry's blazing through here. He's set the fire and he's off.
And Larry's going to take the boat. And yeah, there we go. Coach finally takes it. I don't know. Sometimes the character just will stay on the dock. I don't know what causes that, but this game has some fun bugs.
I always question on this Pirates of the Caribbean level. It looks like Wendy and Tiger Lily, and I wonder if that's what they were originally going for.
Oh, that would be interesting.
But now we're in the ghost house. I think it's odd that this level they start you with a candle, and then in the Pirates one you have to go pick one up.
Seems like if you do this level first, that maybe you should be able to bring them with you.
Yeah, stockpile them like you do your stars.
Always feels like a waste doing the train level last. You never get to use any of those stars.
I didn't even realize there were stars on the train level.
Oh yeah, there's a few on the tracks.
I usually cross my fingers, hope for Station 4, and walk away.
Angry Larry with the jump strat.
Let's see if he gets a swag candle in. I haven't seen anybody opt for a swag candle.
He gets a quick ghost as well, but doesn't get the invincibility off. Still a good time though. Car wash.
Car wash. And yeah, he's well in the lead here. Car wash everywhere.
Alright, what station we got for Larry? Third station. Not too bad.
Fourth station. Alright, let's see if we can get Armageddon on the second station, then we'll have all 4 stations covered. Car wash. Armageddon time, getting some real thought to these questions though.
It's one of those things where you have to ask yourself, like, is Tokyo Disneyland really the largest one anymore? What was it back when this game came out?
Yeah, sure. Oh, almost surely it was Tokyo, but I think Hong Kong might have surpassed it by now. And we're down to these final questions. This last guy over here.
And hey, if 1020 isn't good enough to win, 1019 sure is.
Yeah, I call collusion on that one.
1024 for Buzz. 1030. Everybody piling in here, and Arma gets Group 1, or Station 1, so...
Yeah, let's see if Arma can land in sub 11. He looks pretty close to it.
Always middle. Yeah.
Oh, he's just going to miss it. And then he takes 15 seconds to done anyways. Seems about right. Deserves a Melvin hat for that one.
Classic Arma.
So yeah, like I said, this match didn't matter. Despite Larry's win, he's still going to be in the relegation match. And Coach Crab and Buzz Thunder move on.
Alright, good luck to them in the brackets, and good luck to Larry and Arma in the relegation bracket. Throw this back to Hans.
Again, the tiebreakers are head-to-head. Coach Crab beat Buzz Thunder. So Coach Crab's going to be the 1 seed, even though he lost. Buzz Thunder is going to be the 2 seed. They're going to be moving on to the brackets, like we said. Nirm finishes in third place based on his head-to-head victory over Angry Larry. Angry Larry and Armageddon Time are moving on to the relegation race. Not a single person in this group averaged more than 13 minutes and 32 seconds. Angry Larry's 10:36, though, the best of the group, and he might get relegated. We are going to move on over to Group Elsa right now. Both races have big playoff implications. To reset the standings, Yunos is in a comfy 3-0 atop of the table. He is going to be moving on to the bracket stage. Whether he gets first place or second place in the division remains to be seen because he's taken on Redbird Grad. If Redbird Grad beats Yunos, he'll move on to 3-1, and he'll win the tiebreaker, which is head-to-head. The other race is Edgestream versus Enchantress of Numbers, and there's a lot of playoff scenarios that can happen here. So let's review them. If Yunos wins and moves on to 4-0, and Enchantress of Numbers beats Edge, then Yunos would be number 1 seed, and Enchantress of Numbers would be the number 2 seed. There'd be a 3-way tie for 2-2 between Enchantress of Numbers, Redbird Grad, and Edgestream. Redbird Grad has the forfeit, so he would be eliminated in the 3-way tiebreaker. And then Enchantress of Numbers would have defeated Edge, so she would move on. In the situation where Yunos defeats Redbird Grad, but Edgestream beats Enchantress of Numbers, then Yunos would move on 4-0. Edgestream would be 3-1. Redbird Grad 2-2, and Enchantress Numbers 1-3. So Yunos and Edge would move on 1 and 2 seeds respectively. If Redbird Grad can beat Yunos and Enchantress Numbers beats Edge, both Redbird Grad and Yunos would move on. Redbird Grad would be the number 1 seed, like I said before. Yunos would be the number 2 seed. This is the only path to the playoffs for Redbird Grad. And the last scenario is if Redbird Grad beats Yunos and Edgestream beats Enchantress Numbers, then both Yunos and Edge would move on. Yunos, Edge, and Redbird Grad will all be tied at 3-1. They would all have defeated each other once. But Redbird Grad has that forfeit, so he would get eliminated in a 3-way tiebreaker. And then Yunos beating Edge earlier in the season would make the seeding go Yunos 1, Edgestream 2. That's a lot of things to say when I could have just played the 2 15-minute and under races. So why don't we get to that right now? We'll start with race number 1 in this group, Yunos versus Redbird Grad. What's going on, everybody? This is Angry Larry. I am joined with Armageddon Time. How are you tonight, Arma?
I'm doing all right. Looking forward to a wonderful race between 2 very competitive players.
Yeah, speaking of competition, this is a Group Elsa Week 5 race, but this has big playoff implications as both racers go on to the first question here. Let's check the question first, Arma, and then I'll say what the scenarios are here. Got 2 answers that are letter A to begin with, so we got a nice quick exit from there. And moving on to question broad number 2.
Very symmetrical.
And we got 2 C answers, but look like Redbird Grad chose Sleepy, but he went down to Doc just in the nick of time. Would you like to hear about the playoff scenarios?
Bring it on.
All right, so this is Group Elsa. We'll start with this race, Yunos versus Redbird Grad. Yunos is already in the bracket round. He's at 3-0. He plays Redbird Grad, who is at 2-1, but Redbird Grad needs to win this race for a chance to get in. If Yunos wins this race, Redbird Grad's eliminated, and the winner of Edgestream and Enchantress of Numbers will join Yunos in the bracket round. But if Redbird Grad wins this race, Redbird Grad will then need Enchantress of Numbers to beat Edgestream to make it into the bracket round. If Redbird Grad wins this race and Edgestream wins against Enchantress of Numbers, then it's Edge that moves on. Redbird Grad took a forfeit early on in the tournament, and that works highly against him in any sort of scenario where he's tied with other players.
Well, I was trying to piece all those together. Unfortunately, the brackets turned into a lattice work, and then I just kind of forgot who I was for a second.
The most important thing to take away from that is Redbird Grad needs this race to get in, for a chance to get in. So he's going to be going as fast as he can. Both of them enter Star System D. Have you ever heard of that great album by the Public Enemy, Fear of Star F?
Fear of Star F. That's got to be the sequel to Star E just plain sucks.
I think 911 is a joke is on that album.
And yet we see no mention of a black planet anywhere in here.
Here we go again. What is your favorite Public Enemy song?
Probably the remix that they did with what was that band? Bring the Noise.
Anthrax.
That's the one.
That's really the only Public Enemy song I know. Actually, no. I just informed everybody. I knew 911. It's a joke.
What's not a joke is the competition we got going on right here. Everybody pretty much almost squared up.
Yeah, 4 different people can get into the bracket round depending on how the Enchantress Numbers versus Edgestream race goes. Of course, again, Redbird Grad does need to win this race for that race to matter for him. The 5th player in the group is D. Allen Heffley. He did not have a good time at this game. He went 0-4 with 4 Melvin hats. How many do you have?
I have approximately 4. I can't confirm or deny whether I have more or less, but it looks like we have about 10-second difference between these two devilish competitors.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're in Autopia, and one of the big things from Link 7's tasks is the amount of time you can save in Autopia due to lag reduction. And we've done tournaments before where we've analyzed the tasks like wacky races and talked lag reduction as well. For the common everyday Melvin, it's probably a very boring conversation and doesn't seem like it matters. But when you're breaking the game down to saving seconds overall, it does matter. And stupid things like, just knocking a car out of the way at a certain position definitely help that. So, that just brings to question, when you play this game, how much do you smash your controller in your face when you play it?
Well, the only real smashing I try to do in this level, Autopia, is getting those cars off of the bloody road, because I want to make some room for myself. I need some breathing room, and also I try to pretend like I know what lag reduction really is. So I figure, if I get rid of the cars, then I'm going to get rid of the lag, right?
So the best thing about learning how to things, Redbird Grad, Bamboo 7 has missed a question. And got that question right. Yunus is down to the question by the front gate. So Redbird Grad is trailing here a little bit. Bamboo.7 is a lot of frames lost every time the name is being said. But also missing the question is a lot of frames as well.
Have you actually ever encountered any questions recently that you have not seen yet?
That's a good question. We're going to watch Yunus here in Pirates of the Caribbean and Redbird Grad go to the next question here. There are some that I'm not 100% positive what the answer is, where I may even get it wrong if it shows up, and I might know the answer, but in a hitting the answer quick scenario. I know the Mark Twain is the boat in Disney World, but just seeing the name Tom Sawyer, I may just gravitate right to that answer and hit it. That's
you think Tom Sawyer Island?
Well, that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about getting that question in the race. Same thing about the number of cartoons Mickey Mouse is in question.
119.
Yeah, I know it's the first answer now. I can just mash or whatever, but it makes me second guess myself because I've missed it before, and I think that's the problem.
Usually, I would look at the answers first. But then sometimes if I get, say, one of the Snow White questions and it's just nothing but the dwarves, it's which one is it?
Yeah, exactly. If you're looking in stocks on the bottom for both of them, but one answer is Dopey. Dark Magician does that. You can see Yunus took the damage boost there to get back on to get to the flare in this ladder. No cannonballs. Redbird Grad had a little bit of a harder time with cannonballs and before this jump right here. Let's see if he can land it. He lands it. Gotta be careful over this skeleton. Skeleton waifu, he gets hit.
Oh no! Is there really a way to manipulate the cannonballs, though? Can you make it so that there are none, or at least, I don't know, tweak it in some way that they don't hit you?
So according to the task that Link 7's did, I don't think there is a way, and Yunus did get past the initial zombie, but he took a hit there. He's going to have to keep it clean here to take this victory. That's going to allow Redbird Grad to catch up if he does take a death, so let's see how he plays this stage. I don't think there is a way. Maybe there's a way, but you can see 0 cannonballs there for Redbird Grad, so we might want to review the tape, see exactly what he did. But you might have to do everything as frame specific as possible. And if there's any RNG with the enemies moving, I think it has to do with scrolling the screen, how to scroll the screen. Probably not viable.
We could have some scumming with maybe possibly paying off the pirates so that they don't shoot off their cannonballs. We may indeed need to check the tape.
Can you buy off pirates?
I don't know. I mean, isn't their philosophy kind of to just, I don't know, screw everybody over?
That's what I'm saying. You can pay them off, and then they'll just take back whatever they, did for you in the first place.
That's true, but either way, seems that Yunus is making a pretty clear work of the bookshelves over here.
Yeah, Redbird Grad is done with the Pirates of the Caribbean, not Caribbean, and
Lighting it up.
Yeah, he took a little hit he did a YOLO jump over the first Magoo, but then the first Magoo caught up to him again and hit him anyway.
And those evil chairs on the left-hand side is finally, we're getting into some more spooky territory. Redbird Grad making full use of those candles.
Are you really not going to say it?
You mean the car wash? Of course. Just give me a chance, man. Give me a car washing chance.
Go wax yourself, buddy. See what I did there? That was a pun. 4th station for Yunus.
You better protect your neck.
Is that a Public Enemy reference?
I think so.
I hope so. And everything will come full circle then.
I'm not seeing circles. I'm just seeing hard edges on the left-hand side as we're in the train in vain.
Yeah. Would I say 1st station? I'm watching Redbird Grad here work his way through the ballroom.
Yeah, the evil chairs chandelier section. But we will find out shortly which station it truly is.
See, if it is one, he's going to make a left here. He did not. Maybe it's 4th station? I already forgot. I don't even listen to myself when I talk.
Well, it's 3 or 4, I hope.
It's 4. Like, such
I'm always thankful when it's 4.
Such concentration on my part. I can understand the playoff scenarios, but I can't understand what I read like 20 seconds ago. Here we go. 2 questions. First one's a tuppence. Is that 2 pence?
Tuppence. Yeah, 2 pence. That's the idea.
I got it. I finally get it. And Eunice is going to be crossing the finish line now at 10-11. That's going to eliminate Redbird Grad from playoff contention. And that's going to mean the winner of the Edge Stream versus Eon race that's coming up following this will make it into the bracket round. Yunus is a perfect 4-0.
GG to Yunus. And a car wash for Redbird Grad.
Redbird Grad's going to finish this up at a respectable 2-2. He's going to get the unfortunate Melvin hat in this race, but it is a 1v1 race. So there's a main Melvin hat, and then there's the, consolation Melvin hat that's some people earn, unfortunately.
Is there a difference?
Not for you. You earned 4 of them legitimately.
You bet. I work hard for the Melvin, so I'm going to be treated right.
All right, so we're going to have, if he's going to continue, is he going to continue? We're checking.
Please continue.
We're checking it right now. He is going to continue, and he's making his way into Thunder Mountain. So we have 2 more questions left, Armageddon time. I don't have a clue. Maybe you do, as we see long arms on the left-hand side of the screen. Give me the answers to both questions.
Even though we don't know what they are.
Even though you don't know, yeah, we don't know what they are. Give me the answers.
I'm going to say we got ourselves a Fauntleroy and Sleepy. Or no, not Sleepy. Dopey. That's what I'm shooting for. I'm shooting for the moon.
Well, the boulder was shooting for Redbird Grad's head right there. He's going to do it over again. 4th station. So we saw it that time. He died intentionally, so we can call be good commentators and call the action. I'll go with Gooseberry Pie and 16.
Yes, the Sleeping Beauty question.
Oh, there's a Sleeping Beauty question?
Ah.
You ever notice how long the arms of Arcus are there on the left-hand side of the screen? Look at the guy's arm. Meout is the guy who pointed this out, of how long that guy's arms are. Like, if you put him straight down, they touch his toes.
Am I the only one that notices his gigantic pelvic thrust that he's doing?
If you were able to open Magic Kingdom with 7 keys, would you not be like air thrusting?
Yeah, I guess I'd also be doing the suck it motion if I could.
I don't know what that is, and I never want to see you do that, by the way. All right, last 2 questions. Here we go.
Let's see.
Oh, proof call. Oh, I thought that was going to say middle name. I saw name and Donald Duck.
Nuts.
Oh, there we go.
Yes, I got one.
Proof call.
Both Donald questions as Redbird Grad finally finishes.
50% of the questions are Donald questions. Melvin Hat for Redbird Grad, he finishes at 2-2. He will not be making the bracket round in his debut in the Elite Tournament. He does not have to play in any consolation races or anything. In the Cesspool, you win and you're in, or you can just kind of wait it out until the next tournament. And at 2-2, unfortunately, he's going to be waiting it out.
It was a very dignified Melvin Hat. Wear it with respect. Wear it around the house. Wear it around the office.
Yeah, or just ship it to Armageddon time. He's making a collection.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can cover my entire body in Melvin hats.
That would be an awesome stream if you can do that.
Right.
But Yunus at 4-0. He's going to be moving on. Undefeated. Wow.
Very impressive showing for Yunus. It's a wonder what the future holds.
Yeah, and that's going to wrap it up. Why don't you wrap it up for us?
All right, everybody. This is Armageddon time for Angry Larry, and that's all the marbles.
Flavor Flav! Well, half of the puzzle has been solved now. Redbird Grad is going to go to 2-2, eliminating him from playoff contention. Yunus moves on to the perfect 4-0, number 1 seed. Now it's time for that last race. Win and you're in. Edgestream will either move on to 3-1, or Enchantress Numbers would move up to 2-2 and win the tiebreaker based on this race. Let's go to the action right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final race of the evening. We've got myself, BGT, and I'm joined by Dark Magician.
Hey, what's going on?
We've got some playoff implication race here. Edgestream versus Enchantress of Numbers. And whoever wins joins Yunus in the winner's bracket.
So when you say win, it's whoever gets the right answers for these questions, right?
Yeah, I think that's all that it takes, really. Little known fact that you don't actually need any of the silver keys except for the trivia one, but we'll see if these runners know that.
Seems like a very serious skip.
Yeah, incoming new world record soon. Looks like Eon and Edge both opting to do Space Mountain, so I guess they don't know about the skip. That's okay.
Yeah, anything that can avoid this mess of a game right here. Level.
Yeah. Well,
That's the
while
word I'm
we
looking
ignore
for.
this, why don't we talk about the movie Snow Queen, which is the group that these folks are in?
Yeah, based on that Hans Christian Andersen story of old, same people who wrote The Little Mermaid. Or person?
Yeah, I think Hans Christian Andersen is just one person.
I didn't know if it was like the Brothers Grimm, where it was more like a collaboration of a bunch of different stories.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's just one Danish dude.
So that brings up the Shakespeare debate too. Is Shakespeare a single artist, or was it a collection of writers at the time?
You know, I think actually Shakespeare and Hans Christian Andersen and the Brothers Grimm are all the same one person.
So vampires.
Yeah, Stephanie Meyer is the same person as those other people too.
Can you enlighten me on who this Stephanie Meyer is?
I think she wrote the Twilight books. Don't quote me on that though. I know she writes shitty books. I mean, crappy books.
So we only have a few more seconds of this one. I think about 20 seconds or so. Did you have anything to add about the Snow Queen, or was it just insight about Hans Christian Andersen?
Just, that's what group they are. So I thought I'd mention it. But no, I've never actually seen the film or the knockoff version, Frozen.
Yeah, I have little ones, so of course I've seen every one of those animated stupid films.
Yeah, mine likes the Cars universe movies, but mostly the airplane ones. He likes airplanes.
So speaking of cars, good segue right into Spy Hunter.
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite version of Spy Hunter.
It's probably the most lagged version of Spy Hunter.
Yeah, it is interesting how much, like, this, you can lose time by crashing into walls, and that's pretty obvious, when you see it when you're playing, but the latency that you incur by having lots of cars on the screen is a little harder to notice until you're, like, watching for those last few seconds to shave off if you're trying to really cut down your time.
So speaking of noticing things, I've noticed those cows before, but I don't think I ever noticed that the bushes are shaped like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, until you said the cows, I had never seen them before. I guess I just tunnel visioned this one really hard because I never noticed those until just now.
Yeah, it's interesting what you see when you're watching instead of playing.
I still don't see the Mickey Mouse bushes though.
Oh, those were in the past. I don't know if any more will come up.
So if there's cows on the track, I guess this makes this more like Mario Kart than Spy Hunter in the end.
Yeah, Long Ranch course.
Ian pulls ahead with a pretty good lead coming out of Autopia.
Oh man, it looks like Edge missed the edge and landed in the grass.
Ouch.
Oh, okay, he's crashing, and so I guess he finished and decided to get back out.
It is a pretty fun level, so I could see wanting to do it twice. What happened, he probably was holding left as he exited, and because you always get put on the right of the double door, holding left makes you re-enter the level.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it looks like he missed another question, and Eon's going to take a huge lead here, over 2 questions.
Yeah, she might even be... Ooh, another miss. She might be on to the underground stage before he even arrives at Pirates at this rate.
I know I joked when you started this race, but it really is coming down to just the questions.
It's not even the first time that's happened this tournament. I've definitely seen another race where, missing questions near the end cost the victory. Eon has some interesting pathing there on Pirates. I don't think I've seen people walk up onto that roof before. My prediction was wrong, Eon. Not quite to the underground. Looks like Puke 7 taking a little of aggression from the lawsuit out on Edge there.
Eon nails the BGT jump.
Oh, that's a tough jump to pull off. It looks like we have a race again.
What's the harder jump to pull off, though? That jump or the invisible boat jump?
I mean, I've only seen the invisible boat a couple times, and both times it was executed flawlessly.
Wait. This happened more than once.
Well, Yunus got the airboat, which is similar, I guess, to the invisible boat.
But yeah, this has gotten really tight because Edstream decided to jump into the lava pit.
Yeah, we had synchronized canoes there, but different stages of the level.
And Eon also opted to go ahead and use the invulnerability over the lava pits again, so we'll see how that work out with stars.
Oof, not working out too well now.
No, she's got to be careful here because this is her last life. She'll have to start again the whole game. Well, she won't have to start the game over, but she'll have to start from the beginning. If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
just a little extra overworld walking time, and you lose all your stars, but at this point she's pretty low on stars anyway, so I'm not sure that the star loss is a huge factor of a game over, as much as obviously the time loss. But there's still plenty of plenty of pits to jump into, and plenty of chairs to get knocked off of coming up here, so I think we still got a race going. Certainly a single death.
I don't think we've mentioned how important this race actually is. This will decide who advances to the playoffs from Group Ice Brock.
Oh, there's the game over for Eon.
Such a simple screen that crushes you so much.
Yeah, just simply game over on a teal background.
Teal or aqua?
I think it depends on if your console is modded or, all kinds of things.
All right, is teal green or is teal blue? Where do you fall in that one?
I kind of think of it as the halfway point between them.
Where does that turquoise? Ugh, that's a hard word.
I'm not sure. I'm not really an expert on colors.
So you've never had the wife bore you with that details?
She likes yellow, and that one's easy for me to remember, so I don't have to get into arguments about what colors are what.
That's fair.
Edge has plenty of stars going into the ballroom here. Able to use invulnerability there.
Yeah, I didn't catch his menu, but hopefully he has enough for the boss. I believe there's 7 in the final room though.
Yeah, he still had 8, so he's in good shape for that.
Meanwhile, unfortunately, Eon's still struggling in the pirate stage.
Yeah, and she's a whole stage behind at this point, and then some. Trying to recover some of the lost stars too, it looks like.
Edge opts not to go for the Larry jump.
I don't know how Larry does that. That's terrifying. Every time I see him do it, I'm scared.
Larry leap. We got Edge trying to spawn the ghost, spawns him and despawns him.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, I think it was Eon, the first car wash. The first race that she was in, that she stood there and took forever to spawn the ghost. It turns out that you have to be moving the screen in order to spawn them.
Yeah, it's something that's like kind of difficult to even know. Like, there's no mention of that, obviously, why, if you know the boss is gonna spawn, why would you even bother walking around? It's certainly a strange mechanic.
That's most of this game, is just strange mechanics.
Yeah, I didn't see which station Edge got. Hopefully Edge saw.
Well,
Ooh.
he'll get to see again.
Oh, and the walk back. But stars are completely useless at this point, so not a huge deal. The game over. If he remembers where the level is, that is.
Yeah, speaking of things I've never seen before, I think I just saw the Mark Twain up there. I've never noticed the riverboat.
Yeah, I think one of the clues about where the trivia people are directs you up that way, but once you just know where everything is, you don't necessarily look at the surroundings. So Edge down to 1 hit on Thunder Mountain again. Going to take it real slow for that rock.
Yeah, I think once you get past here, though, there's nothing but boulders and dead ends that can really hurt you, and easy to avoid.
The first several times I did this, I hadn't read the manual or anything and didn't know that you could even break.
Yeah, it makes things hard.
It certainly does. I struggled with that level for sure. So Edge just has these 2 questions left. It looks like it'll be pretty tough for Eon to make this one up.
Yeah, unfortunately. At least we might be able to get to see a car wash here.
Oh, Edge botches the second question. Looks like Eon learned her lesson about the ghost spawn, at least.
Car wash.
Car wash indeed.
Edgestream car washes his way right into our hearts and right to victory.
And to the winner's bracket.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to advance to the determining match to see who goes to the floaters pool.
I think he has to win. If he wins his first playoff match, then he'll be promoted. He'll have to face off whoever is the first place in the other Cesspool group, which I don't know if it's determined yet.
It's the car group, but I don't know the guy's name.
Mater, yeah, the Mater group.
Mater, I hardly know her.
Ah. Looks like Eon's gonna finish off this race, so that's good. Don't want to have any forfeits besmirching your record here.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that she ran into so many obstacles in the pirates. Everything else went pretty smoothly after that.
Yeah, and that's a level that's really easy to get frustrated and then make additional mistakes because you're a little tilted.
I think the most ironic part about that is all of the trouble that she had in pirates, and it still cost her less time than if she would have died at the end of Space Mountain.
Yeah, Space Mountain is the worst. But she does win a sweet Melvin hat. And I think she won't have to play this game anymore because that puts her at 3rd place in her group. Maybe. I don't know. We'll let Hans fill everyone in on the details on that. We're going to send it back to him now. So thanks for the commentary, Dark Magician. We'll see you around.
It's going to be Unos number 1, Edgestream number 2, 3-1. Eon drops to 1-3, and the Alan Heffley. I'm not going to call him the Alan Hamster. The Alan Heffley, 0-4, 4 forfeits, 4 Melvin hats. And we thank everybody here for joining us as well this season. Both Unos and Edgestream in their rookie year going on to the bracket round, and Redbird grad finishing at a respectable 3rd in the standings. Now it's time to move on to Group Mickey and see who's going to be joining the other 2 Melvins in the upper deck playoffs for the Elite Championship. The 2 matches today are D-Pad Danny versus Random Effect and Link Sevens versus Bent Glass Tube. Here are the scenarios. Similar to the situation over in Group Elsa, if D-Pad Danny beats Random Effect and Bent Glass Tube beats Link, then D-Pad Danny and BGT are going to play their way in, both at 3-1. D-Pad Danny is going to have that tiebreaker over Bent Glass 2 based on head-to-head record. That would leave Link Sevens and Dig Shake at 2-2. but Link Sevens, over his victory on Dig Shake earlier in the season, would win that tiebreaker. That would send Dig Shake and Random Effect to the relegation race. If D-Pad Danny beats Random Effect, but Link Sevens beats Bent Glass Tube, then D-Pad Danny and Link Sevens would move on, both at 3-1. Again, D-Pad Danny would win that tiebreaker for the seeding. Bent Glass Tube and Dig Shake would tie at 2-2. Bent Glass Tube would also win that tiebreaker on Dig Shake. Dig Shake and Random Effect would both go to the relegation race. If Random Effect beats D-Pad Danny now, and Bent Glass Tube beats Link Sevens, then BGT would move on at 3-1. There'd be a 3-way tie at 2-2 between D-Pad Danny, Link Sevens, and Dig Shake. And then it goes on, everyone beat everyone won, so then we'd go to worst average. And this is where it gets tricky. If D-Pad Danny has the worst average time, he would be eliminated from the 3-way tiebreaker, and then Link Sevens would advance because Link Sevens defeated Dig Shake. If Link Sevens has the worst average time, Dig Shake would advance because Dig Shake beat D-Pad Danny. And if Dig Shake has the worst time, D-Pad Danny would advance because D-Pad Danny beat Link Sevens. I think that's a mouthful right there. Whoever had the worst average time and got eliminated in a 3-way tiebreaker would then be the 4th seed and join Random Effect in the relegation race. So any 3 of those players, depending on their average time, can go into the relegation race. The last scenario is if Random Effect beats Danny, but Link beats BGT, then Link Sevens would move on at a 3-1 record with the number 1 seed. Same situation with the 3-way tiebreaker, D-Pad Danny, Dig Shake, but BGT this time. All be 1-1 against each other head to head. Danny has the worst time, BGT would advance because BGT beat Dig Shake. Did I say Dig Shake? I said Dig Shake. BGT has the worst time, Dig Shake would advance because Dig Shake beat D-Pad Danny. And if Dig Shake has the worst time, Danny advances because Danny beat BGT. Worst average time in that 3-way tiebreaker would be in the relegation race with Random Effect. The other one who got eliminated would be in 3rd place. That's a lot, and probably none of you listened, and it probably didn't make sense. So let's just go to the first race of this group and then reset everything afterwards. Bent Glass Tube and Link Sevens.
What's up, everyone? I'm here with Edgeworth.
Hello.
We got a Week 5 race with heavy playoff implications here between Bent Glass Tube and Link Sevens. And they're just getting ready to start, and there they go.
All right, BGT gonna walk into the umbrella first.
Should be okay. See if he gets a better question. Looks like he did.
Yeah, so takes maybe that was some RNG manip.
Yeah, obvious question manip right there if I've ever seen one. And here we go.
Yeah, and he gets one in the first slot too. Yeah, I think he's been doing some science.
I think Link might have gotten one wrong there. Didn't actually see, but he is a little bit behind now. Into basically the auto-scroller of Space Mount. And I guess we do have a little bit of convoluted playoff implications going on in this match, but both these players needing a win. They're both 2-1. BGT needs it a little bit less, but they're both going to want to win to be able to move on. Link needs to win, and he's going to need some other things to happen. But yeah, big race here.
So it looks like they're handling Space Mountain pretty well, but not a big surprise. Thanks to that old D-Pad Danny note card, pretty much everybody's been taking the same path through.
Yeah, the note card's godsend. And at this point, I'm sure most players are just bored when they play this section. Really beyond anything else. You do have to pay a little bit of attention, you know, when you're firing the cannons, but otherwise this is just kind of 2.5 minutes of grueling boredom before you get onto the actual game.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't understand, like, why the cannons actually matter. You think, like, the rockets would blow up the ship just as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's special cannons that destroy asteroids that the other ones don't. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. I think if it could blow up one thing, it should be able to blow up the other. Got the quad lasers for the ship. I don't know.
And I mean, you can blow up the ships just by running into them, too.
Yeah, BGT showing that off a little bit at the end. Link is gonna actually take care of all of them with his guns.
Alright, and now we are on to the old California traffic simulator here. BGT's got some experience with that, so he should be just fine.
Yeah, let's see how they do with their lag management here. Link 7's having a little bit of an advantage maybe, since he did do the task, kind of knowing what to do in certain situations with the lag here. Basically just trying to keep as many cars off the road as possible at all times, and of course not bumping into walls like he just did there.
Yeah, yellow car in front of him didn't use his signal, so he's gonna lose some time there.
Alright, BGT's over the extending bridge. Link's coming in right behind them, probably about 10 seconds behind right now. Still pretty close.
There we go, the jump of death. And Link clips the corner, but it's a lot better than going out of bounds.
Yeah. Yeah, better safe than sorry there. Don't want to start all over. Easy question for BGT.
Always middle. Damn, Mickey Mouse is old. It's still a pretty close matchup. Link getting another question wrong.
Yeah,
But,
it's going to lose him another 5 or so seconds, I think.
Yeah, he's been getting some of the more uncommon questions. I can't say that in any of my playthroughs I've gotten that one.
I didn't see which one it was, but there's a good possibility that I haven't seen it either.
It was
I definitely have not seen all of them.
the number of Mickey Mouse cartoon question.
Ah. I might have actually seen that one. In any case...
Oh, BGT almost dodging the cannonball.
It's gonna go to the invincibility here. Save a little time.
Link 7's getting bowled over by the barrel. See if BGT elects to use a freeze here. He's just gonna... Oh, he's gonna take a bath! That's...
Oh, but so is
Stop.
Link.
Oh wow, they are right with each other.
Yep, they're both gonna be starting. So now, it's even closer than before now, since they both basically died same time there.
Yeah.
So while BGT does maintain the lead, it's much smaller. So yeah, here we go. You gotta wonder if they were watching each other when they were racing. Link electing to hold for the cannonballs here.
Yeah, they've been timing pretty well. Looks like BGT is going to burn another invincibility here while Link 7's just going to dodge the fireballs. So we'll see if he can gain some time using the invincibility in the ghost house.
Yeah, I think BGT will still have one, but he... I don't know if he'll use it at the beginning or he'll save it. Oh, he might still be able to pull 2 out.
Link 7 hit that freeze a little early, but managed to jump over the top of the skeleton, so some strats there, and managed to make it pay off, although the timing wasn't perfectly ideal.
Oh, and he falls down. He's gonna have to climb that ladder again. No big deal. A little bit of time loss.
Yeah, it's a lot better to miss the second jump than the first.
It was a 7:38, looked like exit for BGT, so we got about a 6-second game. Link actually, they're leaving with a little bit of a tighter gap than it was when they entered that, so. And yeah, BGT does use that invincibility to start, as does Link. Oh! Nifty footwork by BGT, had to be careful there.
Yeah, the one-shot ghost almost got him, but had just enough in the way of iframes.
Alright, so we'll see how they handle the ballroom here. Oh, a little bit of knockback for BGT.
It's gonna be a couple of seconds. Link 7's, just hands it back to BGT, so they're about even coming out of here now.
Of course, the book section, hopefully both of them can get through it. We don't want anything like that deciding the race, I don't think. But
Link 7 taking the more aggressive route through the double chair section and takes a short lead here. So
wow, he made up a lot of time doing that.
Yeah, just looking at that, I'm thinking,
about
oh, crap,
almost.
I'm gonna have to do that now.
I think less than a half a second separate them. We'll see what kind of boss spawns they get. It's really going to come down to this at this point. This is probably the biggest moment of the run, including whatever happens after.
Yeah, we've got boss spawns, question luck, and the train station. So Link
they
7's
both get.
getting...
Wow,
almost synced up. 2 seconds between each car wash.
amazing. All right, we'll see what questions we get. It's like almost the same there as far as time it took. Yeah, so we're about a second apart here entering. Third station for BGT, first for Link.
So if Link prefers a right-hand path, he's going straight left for this one, it looks like. I was going to say, if he prefers the right-hand path, he's going to have to double back across the map, but looks like he's playing it a little more dangerously.
Yeah, assuming they both get to their correct station here, this is really just going to come down to the questions at the end. And who can hit that dot done the fastest, I suppose.
Well, they're on the same track right now, so BGT's got a little bit of a lead. And probably gain another second or so once Link 7's crosses.
Yep, there we go.
Nope. Link,
I didn't
Link
realize.
was-
Yeah.
He was
I didn't
one turn
realize.
short.
Well,
So that about sews things up for BGT here.
yeah, all he's got to do is answer the 2 questions.
Alright, 119 Mickey Mouse cartoons, so they both get the same question, and BGT wraps this up at 11:23.
Wow, yeah, I didn't even realize he went to the wrong station there. I'm not sure if he got confused and thought he was going to that one, or...
It looked like he was trying to go over there, but he was just a turn short and ran out of time.
Yeah, I was so focused on just how close it was going to be, I wasn't even paying attention to which station they rolled into. Unfortunate, but yeah, really good race. And he is going to finish this out, of course, that close, so... couple of questions and a hat to acquire. I'm sure. It's unfortunate circumstances of being in the double box instead of the quad box, you know. And there we go.
All right, Link 7 coming in at 12:26, so about a minute behind, but if it wasn't for that station mishap, would have been a lot closer, so made it a pretty competitive race overall.
Yeah, that was a nice race. Yeah, really just, I mean, they both, of course, made the mistake in Pirates, and then just the one mistake, unfortunately, at the end there for Link. But yeah, I think that does mean BGT is going to move on, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll throw it back up to Hans and let him sort everything out.
How about a Group Mickey update? BGT moves on and advances 3-1. His seeding will depend on the D-Pad Danny versus random effect race. So, D-Pad Danny or Link 7 can advance to the next round if the following happens. If D-Pad Danny wins, he's in. If he loses with a time better than 14 minutes, he's in. If he loses with a time worse than 14 minutes, then Link 7's would be in, because that would make D-Pad Danny exceed Dig Shake's average time and thus be eliminated from the tiebreaker. That is the only scenario where Dig Shake is not in the relegation race as well. D-Pad Danny has to lose and has to have a time worse than 14 minutes, and then Dig Shake would slide up to the number 3 spot and be safe from the relegation race. But it's as simple as win as you're in for D-Pad Danny. Let's see if he gets it done. Random Effect's going to be looking for the upset. We'll go to that race right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We have some adventures in the Magic Kingdom Elite Season 6, D-Pad Daddy versus Random Effect. My name is Buzz Thunder, and I am joined by Niram. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, Buzz Thunder. I am doing great. How about yourself?
Doing just fine. So this is one of those races that has stipulations. It'll change how the brackets shape out. Basically, if D-Pad wins, he is in. And what's the other stipulation? Because it gets complicated after that.
It's actually not too bad. He just has to finish this race in under 14 minutes, and then he will progress. If he does not finish on the under 14 minutes and he loses, then Link 7's will progress. Link 7's in danger of not progressing to the winner's bracket for the first time in Elite history.
Wow, that is something special. That's a rare occasion. They both got the same Popeye question before going into Space Mountain here, but it took Random Effect a minute. I think he had to look it up. That's what it seemed like. D-Pad has been running this game pretty consistently, so he knew that one right away.
It's always tough when you see questions that you're not familiar with. Just the other day I saw a question I had never seen before, and I was definitely thrown for a loop.
Yeah, it's that's one of the number one thing that can kind of take you by surprise, because everything else in this game is very consistent in the levels, how it happens. I mean, the only random thing in the levels would be, which station you get in Thunder Mountain. I would guess everything else seems pretty set, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. But yeah, I mean, you can play this game 100 times, and if you don't get that question, you just don't get that question. And wow, look at that.
Man, I don't know what happened there, but he missed 3 directional inputs in a row. Maybe he was reading off of a piece of paper and he got confused as to where he was, and that's it. He's gonna have to start over. And Random Effect taking the lead here.
Wow, that's definitely unexpected for this race. Pretty rare that somebody will, I mean, other than the Alan Heffley, mess up the direction in Space Mountain. But normally it'll happen on your whether you need to hit the ship or the planet. other than that, you can just kind of have it written out and follow it along. And I know D-Pad Danny has it written down because the cheat sheet that I use, he actually sent it to me.
Ah, so you're a cheater.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, who doesn't have the, the directions for this written down?
I don't know at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody does, but the one that I have is in D-Pad's handwriting, so.
All right, so this is serious commentary. So speaking of the University of Kentucky and Popeyes, what's your favorite fried chicken place?
Favorite fried chicken? Los Pollos Hermanos.
I live in the South and have never heard of that.
It's not a real thing. I've been watching Breaking Bad recently. It's a I'm pretty sure it's a fictitious place, but I do like Popeye. I actually have a Popeyes like a block from my house, and then another block from that is a KFC, and I like both of them. It really breaks down to the sides what the main difference is. I mean, their chicken has so much grease on it, you know. There's not that much difference. How about you?
I'm not a big fried chicken person, but there is a place that specializes in like chicken tenders up here called PDQ, which ironically I think in speedrunning sense means poultry done quick. Like legitimately, that's what it means.
Well, I mean, if it's fried, that is about as quick as you can do it.
And it's pretty good. It's got a lot of different sauces and stuff, and you can get nice huge baskets of chicken tenders, and it's a good time. Speaking of sides, Random Effect taking the right side throughout the entirety of this race does cross the bridge without too much trouble. And as long as he makes this jump here, which he does bash into the wall, but that shouldn't be a problem, he's going to be through Autopia just as Danny is starting off. So not looking too good for Mr. D-Pad Danny.
No, not at all. I mean, where he ran into the wall there, that section is pretty easy to run into the wall. Like, you almost have to slow down there. If you look at the world record, you have to slow down just a little bit to avoid those cars because it's almost impossible to get on the inside of them because the window is just too tight between going out of bounds or not stopping at all.
Almost impossible does not mean impossible. You should know this by now.
Well, no, I mean, it's not. It's just difficult.
All right, Effect onto the trivia. D-pad slowing down for the bridge here.
Yeah, it looks like he's having to reference all of these questions. Random Effect does not know anything about Disney, apparently. I just heard from our producer that Random Effect was actually dressed up as one of the Incredibles for Halloween, so you think he would know a little bit more, but I guess that's Pixar. I don't really know how Disney Pixar is. It's like the Diet Disney, kind of.
It's the, you know when somebody starts making stuff better and then they get bought out by some crappy company that's been making that stuff for a long time? That's pretty much Pixar and Disney.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Which, yeah, Disney's been doing that for a while now.
Random Effect already in a little bit of trouble here. He took a thrown cannonball to the face, and then he took a hit from the barrel as well. So he's going to have to be very, very cautious throughout the rest of the stage here. Interesting to see if he would like heal himself. There's lots of power-ups that could help him out here, but no, he's going to tough it up.
Yeah, it really depends on your strategy. Most people are going to use the invulnerability at that section. Oh wow, and D-pad taking a hit to the first puke 780 runs into. Man, our runner's having a rough time here. What is going on in this race? D-pad taking another damage in that. First time playing, I guess.
Yeah, he's running the wrong way there for a little bit, trying to get up the ladder. And Random Effect got through the what I would call the more difficult part of the stage without too much trouble. We just gotta get to the end here and come on, baby, light my fire, and he will be through this one.
Yeah, well done for the second half of the stage. Definitely tricky, especially when he had no hits left to give, and D-pad's going to be in the exact same situation, almost one entire stage behind. So We'll see. D-pad does use the invulnerability, which has become the standard at that part. And random effect off to the spook house.
Jumping right at the start there, living life dangerously.
I don't know what happened there on D-pad side. The skeleton didn't even spawn. That was interesting. That first skeleton was just not even there.
It could be that he messed up so much in the beginning, the game gave him a breather.
Yeah, I would say you think that it wouldn't count the different sprites that you had added up on the previous screen, but I guess it does work that way. We'll have to write the executives at Disney a strongly worded letter about their programming. I wonder if you would get a response, honestly. Be like, hey, you know this game you guys made like almost 30 years ago?
I really doubt it, but let's see.
That would be a good company if they did. All right, random effect going through this the ballroom. Sage, you got to be really cheerful at this part.
Get out of here.
Sorry, I've been saying that joke since day one, and I'm not gonna stop.
Well, at least you're sticking to your convictions here.
That's right.
Random effect has been taking the stage. I don't want to say on the slow side, definitely on the hesitant side, being very cautious. Gonna have to be careful not to get bopped by the second book, which he does not. So it's looking pretty good for him.
Yeah, definitely looks okay. He had a really strong lead, but it has gone down a little bit. I feel like D-pad is catching up.
Yep, D-pad playing a lot more aggressively, but he's got a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah, and here's one of the bigger bad luck spots would be the ghost and how quickly he spawns and where he does spawn. And random effect got a pretty good early spawn, took him out pretty quickly, and we're on to some more questions.
Car wash.
Car wash indeed.
When's the last time you washed your car, Buzz?
About a week ago.
What the heck, really?
Yeah, I wash my car regularly.
Ladies and gentlemen, Buzz Thunder, car washer.
I mean, you know, if you fill up gas, it's $5, and then you just go through the automated thing. You might as well do it.
The automated things are like $20, man.
No, at the gas station where I fill up, you get a discount if you do it at the same place. And if you go on a certain day, it's Wednesdays, they have their elite. That's actually what it's called. I'm not lying here. The elite level of the car wash, which is normally $11, but if you do it on Tuesday, it's only $6.99.
You got this mapped out, huh? Buzz Thunder, speedrun, car wash router guy.
You got to keep your car clean, especially here in the Midwest. There's a lot of salt in the winter times. Well, here we are in Thunder Mountain.
Yeah, I didn't look at either station, so I don't know if they're going to go to the right station or not.
Random effect has oh, he did have the third station, however, did not take the correct path, and that might be all D-pad needs to close this one out. Certainly just gave him a lead. Big turnaround, and a couple of big turnarounds in this race. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's very difficult to make up time if you go to the wrong book. You're playing the whole stage over again. Like there's no in between in this stage, I guess, unless you lose all your hearts. But if you go to the wrong gate, then that's just that. You have to redo the whole stage in its entirety over again. And yes, that does allow D-pad to take the lead here. He's only 2 questions away from proceeding to the winner's bracket.
Yep, Gus and Jack, the Chestnut brothers, and Pinocchio's companion, Mr. Cricket. And that will do it. D-pad, wow, with that mistake for random effect, Thunder Mountain gives D-pad the stranglehold lead, and he finishes with a winning time of 11 minutes 51 seconds. Good job to D-pad. That will advance him as the #1 seed in the what is this, Mickey? Team Mickey? Group Mickey?
Group team, Mickey. Yes.
Yeah, he's the top dog to move into the bracket round. So good job for D-pad.
Yeah, unfortunately, Random Effect did take another death. Did lose all of his life, so this is his third attempt here. He's making his way on through, and hopefully he gets the correct gate again. I think it stays the same. And once again, fourth station when he needed third.
Oh, ouch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does stay the same. No, that was enough for him to give up, and that solidifies Random Effects. That's 0-4 for Random Effect.
That's painful for sure.
Yep, unfortunate couple of deaths there. He had the win right there, and that would have come down to all the different breakdowns. But yeah, a couple deaths in Thunder Mountain, and D-pad Danny will take it.
And that will also put Dig Shake into the losers race as well. He needed D-pad to lose this race, not only lose this race, but lose it with a time above 14 minutes. So both Dig Shake and Random Effect will be fighting for their lives in their next race.
Yeah, fighting for the float, I guess, to not fall into the loser bracket. I guess it's not called the loser bracket, whatever you call it nowadays.
We shall see how this all plays out. Thank you for joining us. We're going to send it back up to Mr. Hans Buttface.
So Danny will advance based on his victory and claim the number 1 spot on the tiebreaker. He beat Bentglass Tube earlier in the season. Link Sevens beat Dig Shake earlier in the season, so he's going to send him to the relegation race. The 4-way relegation race where the bottom 2 finishers will sink to the cesspool for next season, season 7. Now we'll take a look at the top times in the tournament so far. Everyone with 4 games played. Angry Larry leads the field with his 10:36. Coach Crab 10:39. Then 3 players very close, separated by 1 second each. Unos XX, Bentglass Tube, and Buzz Thunder. Dark Magician, the best of the post 11-minute times with 11:03. Good luck to everyone who made the bracket round who didn't have a 10:36 average. I hope you can sleep at night. Next week, we'll begin our bracket rounds. The first round in both the upper deck and the cesspool brackets. Number 1 seed from Group Donald, Coach Crab, goes against number 2 seed from Group Mickey, Bentglass Tube. Number 1 seed from Group Mickey, D-pad Danny, will take on number 2 seed from Group Donald, Buzz Thunder. And in the cesspool, Unos XX from Group Elsa, the number 1 seed, takes on number 2 seed Jam Eviler of Group Mater. Then Group Mater's number 1 seed Dark Magician will take on Group Elsa's number 2 seed Edge Stream. The winners of the cesspool races will be promoted to the upper deck for season 7. But we're going to have the relegation race to see who will be demoted or relegated to the cesspool the following week, along with the bracket finals, and expect some shenanigans and hijinks as well. Shoutouts to Link 7's Armageddon Time, Buzz Thunder, Bentglass Tube, Justin Man 114, Nearm, Edgestream, Dark Magician 1184, and Unos XX, Tip Jar, Roman Art, and Jukebox Musical as well. Thank you for your contributions this week. Remember to check out the website. It may be updated, elite.angrylarrygaming.com, for the standing schedule playoff bracket and the video archives of the prior seasons. This is Hans Buttface. Thank you for watching our journey through the group stage. See you next week for the playoffs.
When you wish upon a star, Melvins are no different than knobs. Anything the task can do, you can too.
Unos 20. You just set the world record in the adventures in the Magic Kingdom for the NES. What are you gonna do next?
I think tomorrow night I'm going to
Grinding the dick off.
Knob.